So today we are going to talk about cause and effects in Dhamma. First of all, I need to mention about the important notes, same as in every class, that Dhamma provided in this presentation is simple and not Kampira or profound. People must continuously study Dhamma or else it will lead to Mahatapa, Nirvaya or hell, because it is Micchaทิฏฐิ, not following the Buddha's teaching. If any provided content contrast with Dhamma 84,000 Dhammakantaka, please refer to Dhamma 84,000 Dhammakantaka only. What day is today? Today is 15 Sukha Pakhatsa, Chetha Masatsa, Maha Buddha Shayanti 2612, or June 3rd, Buddhist era 2566. And Yovo Ananta Maya Thammo Ja Vinayo Ja Tesito Panyato Sovo Mama Jayena Sattha is the Dhamma that Anuttara Samma Sampodhi said to Maha Ananta during the last before Anuttara Samma Sampodhi enters Parinibbana. Anuttara Samma Sampodhi mentioned that Ananta Dhamma and Vinaya will be your teacher when Anuttara Samma Sampodhi enters Parinibbana.
Okay. We respect our
Anuttara Samma
Paramatha Anuttara Samma Sampodhi. We sati Ariya Makha. We sati Samanya Para. เอกนิพพานะคิปาพิญญาโดยฉับพลันในปัจวัติการนี้เถิดสาธุสาธุสาธุนวุติอุปนิธิพันธะอนุโมทามิ and pay respect to our ธรรมจริยสุชาตินาอ่อน and ท่านอังคคุณอริยธรรมโสตาปันนะ who is the beginner of our สิกขายะธรรมะวีสติอริยมรรควีสติสามัญญาภละเอกนิพพานะขิปาพิญญาโดยเฉียบพลันในประวัติการนี้เถิดสาธุสาธุสาธุนวุติอุปนิธิพันธะอนุโมทามิ
The responsibility of the four Puttha Parisa consisting of three major responsibilities. The first one is the four Puttha Parisa must well understand the Tipitaka, 84,000 Dhammakantaka. And the second one, the four Puttha Parisa must be able to correctly present 84,000 Dhammakantaka. And the third one is the four Puttha Parisa must be able to correct those who condemn or misunderstand the Tipitaka, 84,000 Dhammakantaka. Okay, so as we going to talk about cause and effects in Dhamma, first, today we start with our daily activities, because we spend our daily activities in work, exercise, travel, sleep, eat, party, earning, trying to work to get money, and enjoy our hobbies and spending time with the one you love, for example, like this, and also your family. This is the roughly picture of our daily activities. And those activities bring your feelings during the day that you might feel that your feeling that occurs in everyday life, consisting of, for example, like happy, indifferent, sad, dissatisfied, angry, hate, envy, etc. Something like this that comes with your daily activities. And your daily activities are organized into three groups. The first one is Kama Sanya, the one that you spend with the one you love, your family, things like that. And the second one is Kojara Sanya, the activities that involving with your study, your work, your exercise, things like that also, for example. And Morana Sanya is the Sanya that you're afraid of death, of sick. And how many type of human beings are there? Before we mentioned about our daily activities organized into 3 main groups, Kama Sanya, Gochara Sanya, and Moran Sanya. Now, we try to organize how many groups or how many types of human beings are there in our society, according to the teaching of Gautama Buddha. According to the teaching of Gautama Buddha or Dhamma, Manusa is divided into 4 types. They are consisting of Manusa Nirayo, Manusa Peto, Manusa Tirachano, and Manusa Tevo. As you may see that I intentionally color it red for 3 types of people and 1 in green. The red one, Manusa Nirayo, Manusa Peto, and Manusa Tirachano, they are during the daily activity consist only in 3 categories of their daily activity consisting of Kama Sanya, Gochara Sanya, Morana Sanya, that are the activities of Manusa Nirayo, Manusa Peto, Manusa Tirachano. And those 3 activities brought with it is the feeling that occurs in daily life. For example, like happy, indifferent, sad, dissatisfied, angry, hate, envy, etc. And for special type of Manusa is Manusa Tevo. This kind of Manusa, the different activity in their daily life, apart from Kama Sanya, Gochara Sanya, Morana Sanya, that are exactly the same with Manusa Nirayo, Manusa Peto, and Manusa Tirachano. Manusa Tevo has Dhamma Sanya or study Dhamma or Sikkaya Dhamma activities including into their daily lives. And according to Dhamma Sanya or Sikkaya or study Dhamma, these one will lead to happiness, long-lasting happiness, and escape from cyclic of existence, and also the feelings that occur in everyday life. For example, like happy, indifferent, sad, dissatisfied, angry, hate, envy, etc. into happiness, always happiness, ever after. And by ourselves, because we without Sikkaya or without study Dhamma, we spend our daily activities in those only 3 groups of activities: Kama Sanya, Gochara Sanya, and Morana Sanya. This is ourself, and this is activities of ourself, or we call ourself, we call it Putushana. We also call it Putushana. And with our daily activities that classify into Kama Sanya, Gochara Sanya, and Morana Sanya, these 3 kinds of activities that leads to Abhaya Bhumi. And according to the teaching of Gautama Buddha, the Bhumi divided into altogether there are 31 Bhumi, 4 of Abhaya Bhumi, and 1 for Manusa Bhumi, 6 for Teva Bhumi, and 16 for Brahma Bhumi, and 4 for Arupa Brahma Bhumi. This is altogether 31 Bhumi. However, if we do it by ourselves or according we are Putushana, then those activities leads to only Abhaya Bhumi 4. We cannot go to Manusa Bhumi, we cannot go to Teva Bhumi 6, we cannot go to Brahma Bhumi 16, and we cannot go to Arupa Brahma Bhumi 4, because all of our daily activities that those are classified under only in Sanya 3, Kama Sanya, Gochara Sanya, and Morana Sanya. We don't have Dhamma Sanya. If we don't spend time Sikkaya or study Dhamma, we cannot be Manusa Tevo. We only be Manusa Nirayo, Manusa Peto, and Manusa Tirachano during.
If I feel that I want to eat this, what is I Gochara Sanya, Morana Sanya, or Kama Sanya?
Well, it could be Gochara Sanya and Morana Sanya, because if you don't have food, then you might starving to death. Then it's you're afraid of death that leads you to eat food. This for easy explanation.
Oh, so if in daily life we have Morana Sanya all the time because we have to find the fruit for eat, and everything that we done is because we have Morana Sanya, isn't it?
Well, actually, if we look into more detail, Kama Sanya, Gochara Sanya, and Morana Sanya doesn't have any clear cut that classify the activities. Sometimes one activities can involve with Kama Sanya, Gochara Sanya, and Morana Sanya. For example, like the one that Piping has just mentioned about the having food. One might having food because they are starving, right? Afraid of death, so they need to find food to eat. However, have you ever have a date on dinner or something like that? That is Kama Sanya, but it's involving food also, right? Have you
Right.
ever have a business meeting? You have meal during this and you talk business during your meal. That's also classified as Gochara Sanya. So actually, if we look into detail, Kama Sanya, Gochara Sanya, and Morana Sanya involved in almost of every of our activities. However, sometimes it seems that one kind of sanya is leading, but anyway, there are always other sanya that involve in that activities.
You
For
mean
that,
that if we have only 3 sanya, we are all in only 3 manusa. That manusa, nirayo, manusa peto, and manusa tirachano. And how we can get to manusa tevo only sikaya. But
yeah,
we all day we take only 3 manusa. How
yeah.
can we escape that situation?
Yes, that is the challenge one, quite challenge one, because to answer that questions, we have to look into a bit more detail in ourselves. To perform Kama Sanya, Gochara Sanya, and Morana Sanya in your daily life, you need only yourself, right? As shown in this diagram, only yourself or Putushana. We think ourselves, and then we can spend time in Kama Sanya, Gochara Sanya, Morana Sanya. We can live in the society with these Sanya and with ourselves, with our knowledge, without involving of the teaching of Gautama Buddha. However, by doing it ourselves, designing ourselves, and follow the norm and the beliefs of the society that not involved with the teaching of Gautama Buddha, that's the only way that the only way to go is that Abhaya Bhumi 4 as shown in this on this chart. However, to evade or escape to not going to Abhaya Bhumi 4, the only way is to add another sanya, which called Dhamma Sanya. And a bit more challenge, as I mentioned, is that to perform Dhamma Sanya, you need Kusala Kamapata that comes with your body, yourself. Without Kusala Kamapata that comes with your body, then you don't have you cannot decide to perform Dhamma Sanya, and you cannot perform Dhamma Sanya. This is a bit difficult conditions that sent from the past to this your present life. So for your present life, for every people, we have a Kusala Kamapata as our body, and we can perform our daily activities by using a Kusala Kamapata that sent that stays within ourselves. However, only one condition to perform Kusala Kamapata is that your yourself must have Kusala Kamapata comes with your body during your past life. They must send you some of Kusala Kamapata to have power to perform Dhamma Sanya. Otherwise, you cannot do it.
Okay, Satu ka, Pikan.
A bit difficult to understand, but
Yes.
this is for the beginners. Only a tiny information, okay? And we have a lot about it to explain in the future. Okay, as Piping mentioned before, if we're doing by ourselves or Putushana way, doing ourselves by ourselves decided, by ourselves and follows the norm of the society and the beliefs of the society, and even the technology of that society, without involving any teaching or any teaching of Gautama Buddha or any Dhamma, then the only way to go is down from Arupa Brahma Bhumi 4 to Brahma Bhumi 16 to Deva Bhumi 6, Manusa Bhumi 1, and Abhaya Bhumi 4. Only downward. That happened by our daily activities, because citta, that back is the cause behind our daily activities. They are Lopa Mula Citta 8, Tosa Mula Citta 2, and Moha Mula Citta 2. Those altogether are Kusala Citta 12. That are the cause behind our daily activities that classified in Kama Sanya, Gochara Sanya, Morana Sanya, and those activities performed by Manusa Nirayo, Manusa Peto, Manusa Tirachano. That's why you need, the only way to go is to down and to Abhaya Bhumi 4, and to the deepest one, to the Naraka level 8, which is Aveji Mahanaraka. That is the only way to go, with only ourselves or Putushana way.
You mean that Putushana way have only Akusala Citta 12?
Yes, as I mentioned that when we born, for easy understanding, we have two main components that come with our body. The first one is Akusala Kamapata, and the second one, which is needed for Sikhatama, that one is Kusala Kamapata. For Akusala Kamapata, this one we use it to perform our daily activities under 3 Sanya, Kama Sanya, Gochara Sanya, Mara Sanya. Our daily activities can perform by using Akusala Kamapata all alone. However, to perform the fourth Sanya, which called Tama Sanya or Sikhaya, or study the teaching of Gautama Buddha, this one you need Kusala Kamapata that sent to your body. If Kusala Kamapata doesn't exist in your body, then you cannot perform Tama Sanya. You cannot study Dhamma, you cannot Sikha Dhamma. When people invite you to Sikha Dhamma, you say no. There'll be a lot of reasons that you say no, which most of them seem very reasonable in Manusa Nirayo, Manusa Peto, Manusa Tirata channel standard, or normal people standard. That seems reasonable for not going to Sikha Dhamma. For example, like you're busy with your work, you're too tired with your work, and you need time to rest. You need time to take care of your kids. You need time to take care of your pets, something like that. It seems reasonable. Something, for example, another example, like you need to do your housework, something like that. It seems reasonable in normal people, cause and effects. However, because of that reasons, rise from Lopa 8, Dosa 2, and Moha 2, Akusala Citta 12 behind that. And moreover, yourself built by Akusala Kamapata. That's why that kind of that kind of reasons come up with your mind. And then you decide not to Sikhaya. That is the effects of Akusala Kamapata that sent, that embedded in your body. And also, if you have Kusala Kamapata embedded in your body, that even though you need to you work and you're tired, you might say that, okay, I can set my time, set my schedule to have time for Sikhaya in a day. For like you have time for your work, then you also have time to Sikhaya, as a lot of us doing today. That we have a lot of things to do in a day, but we can fit Sikha Dhamma in our schedule. This is the result of the act of Kusala Kamapata that embedded in our body. Without it, we cannot come to this class, we cannot Sikha Dhamma. And for that is by doing by ourselves. We go for Putushana way, that we go to Abaya Bhumi 4. Another way for Sikhatama and study the teaching of Gautama Buddha or study Dhamma, then we can improve ourselves from Abaya Bhumi 4 to Manusa Bhumi 1, Deva Bhumi 6, Brahma Bhumi 16, and Arupa Brahma Bhumi 4. And even moreover, we can go to Lokutara that have a happily ever after. Okay. And to improve yourself from Abaya Bhumi 4 to Lokutara, we need Anuttara Samma Sampoti. We need the teaching of Gautama Buddha. We need to understand what Sikhatama is and what the teaching of Gautama Buddha is. And by doing so, we starting from Pariyatti and go to Patipatti and end at Pativeta. Or Pariyatti, you may you may refer it as 84,000 Dhammakantaka, and Pariyatti is Lokutara, beginning from Sotapatti Makha, and Pativeta is Asawakilesa, end of Asawakilesa, things like that. This is Putushana way.
Someone tell me that we did not have to recite anything, so we have to patipatti, we have to meditation, we have to close our eye, and we can get to Lokutara.
Yes, that is a good question, Piping. So I recommend whenever you hear things like this, you can compare it. If that comes from Putushana decision or norm of that society, or the beliefs of that society, or the technology of that society, that are not based on the teaching of Gautama Buddha, the correct one. If they are not based on the teaching of Gautama Buddha, the correct one, then the only way to go is Abaya Bhumi 4, no matter what, how convincing that word or that norm or that technology is, but it relates to Abaya Bhumi 4. It doesn't count how many people believes in that also. The majority is not the right every time.
But everyone tell me that if you want to get Nibbana, you have to meditation. You have to close your eye and you have to don't think about anything, and you will feel good. And I like this.
Well, you can do that, but by doing so, I recommend that start to Sikhaya and start to learn more about what Gautama Buddha teach, and then you'll understand your daily lives more, and you can improve your feelings during the day, and you can have a lot of happiness during the day. But happy that comes with Sikhatama will be much different than happy that you have from your daily lives, because when we go into a bit more details in the work of Chitta Cetasika that drive it to your emotion during the day, your happiness by doing it yourself, for example, like eating food that you like, shopping things that you like, those happiness come from Somanat, Lobha, Mula, Chitta, 4 out of 8. For example, the first one is Somana Sasa Katang Titi Kata Sampayutang Sankarikang Kama Vajra Akusala Lobha Chitta. This is one of the happiness that create by Lobha, Mula, Chitta. And this kind of happiness, Lobha Mula Chitta 8, Tosa Mula Chitta 2, and Mula Chitta 2, they work together. It depends on what leads and what follows. For example, like this one, you feel happy because you are buying something that you like. For example, like you bought your new purse, for example. You're happy. That happy comes from Somanat in Lobha Mula Chitta, 1 of the 4. Then you go home and you find that your new purse has scratch on it, and then you start to feel suffer. You start to feel angry about it because that's a new purse and you have just to spend a lot of money on it, and you have a scratch on it. That follows by the feelings of hate, of angry, and things like that. As I mentioned, that they stays together. That's why when you feel happy on lopa one, lopa mula citta, then tosa mula citta can comes with it, and moha mula citta also can comes with it. Then prevent you from knowing the truth about the teaching of Gautama Buddha. However, if you have happiness on this side, that depends on the Sikhatama of Gautama Buddha. If you have happiness on this side, what do they have? For example, like Mahakusala Citta 8. They have Somanat Mula Citta 4 out of 8. So you can have happiness in this side also, but this one will be much different than this one because it happens from Somanats under Mahakusala Citta 8. And within Mahakusala Citta 8, they are not working with Lopa Mula Citta 8, Tosa Mula Citta 2, and Moha Mula Citta 2. They are not working with Akusala Citta 12 altogether. So by have happiness that caused by Mahakusala Citta 4 out of 8, then this kind of happiness cannot have hate, angriness, and a lot of bad feelings cannot follow it, because this one is Somanat, our happiness under Mahakusala Citta 4 out of 8. This is the cause that create different effects of happiness. That's why happiness that occur with Sikhatama is much more sustainable than the happiness that we create in our daily lives. It's like this.
Okay, can I say that if we meditation, we have happiness in sleeping, and what when we Sikhaya, is this continuously happiness that it will lead us to Nibbana in future?
Yes, it will lead to Nibbana in the future if you Sikhatama, the correct one, and if you understand Dhamma correctly, you can.
So
go.
we have to Sikhaya only in order to get to Nibbana, not to close your eye. If you want to close your eye, you go to sleep, it's better.
Well, normal people, every people, I may say, every people, we start from Manusa Nirayo, Manusa Peto, Manusa Tivrashana. So our daily activities, we consisting of Kama Sanya, Kochara Sanya, and Morana Sanya. However, we can improve ourselves by adding Kama Sanya in our daily lives, as I mentioned. We will improve ourselves gradually, so we can spend our time happily in Kama Sanya, Kochara Sanya, Morana Sanya. That's fine, because that's our daily lives anyway. But we try to increase the time that we spend Sikhatama or Dhamma Sanya. By doing so, Dhamma Sanya will help you prevent you from the result that occur from your Kama Sanya, Kochara Sanya, Mora Sanya, even though you're still spending time and you do your daily activities under those three Sanya. That is the normal things that will happen. But the more you have, the more you Sikhaya, the more you can control the bad feelings during the day, and the closer to Lokuttara you get. So the more Sikhaya is, the better one.
Okay. Sadhu ka.
Next one, as we mentioned, the only way to improve yourself from Manusa Nirayo, Manusa Peto to Manusa Tirashano into Manusa Tevo is Sikhaya. Sikhaya only, or study Dhamma, or study Dhamma. The only way from temporary happiness into more sustainable happiness ever after, things like that. Okay, this is, for example, like this categorized as Dhamma Sanya. Okay. Now we come to cause and effects of Dhamma, comparing with the cause and effects of Putushana, or ourselves, or our daily lives activities. For cause and effects of Putushana, before we talk about cause and effects, I divided the level of details into two main level. The first level is the level of Putushana zone, or normal people zone, that can be the level that can be seen, tangible, and scientifically proven. This is the first level that we are going to comparing with. And the second level is Dhamma Sona or Abhidhamma. This is much more elaborate than scientifically proven. It's beyond that one. So even when I divide it into these zones and then I comparing with the cause and effects of Putushana or normal people and comparing with the cause and effects of Dhamma, the result is cause and effects of Putushana or normal people exist only the level of level that can be seen, tangible, and scientifically proven. Only this one level. And they said that cause and effects stays in this level. For Dhamma zone or Abhidhamma, for the cause and effects of Putushana or normal people, they inaccessible. Therefore, none of the no information at this time, at this level, because they are inaccessible. However, when we look at the cause and effects of Dhamma, at the level of tangible, the things that we can see, they can be seen, tangible, and scientifically proven. This one, at this level, all of them, whatever happened at this level, in Dhamma, we classified as a cause. Oh, no, sorry. I put it wrong one. I need to correct it. This one, as this level, they are effects. And actually, the cause is in this level. Oh, sorry, my mistake. This one. Okay, let's say this one. Here we go. Oh, sorry.
This is effect and effect.
One moment. Okay. And the level that can be seen, tangible, and scientifically proven for Dhamma, this is the only effects level. And the cause lies in Dhamma zone or Abhidhamma. We will explain more in details and show you a lot of examples. Next one. This for one of the example. When you feel hungry, if you're comparing the cause and effects of Putushana or normal people, when you're hungry, you caused by empty stomach, low energy, and then the effects, you need to have a meal. You are looking for a meal. Then you have a meal. You have a meal because you're hungry, right? And the effects of having a meal and too much meal per day and too much energy eating in a day cause and effects of fat. Fat is the cause of having too much food or inappropriate food, and the effects of fat is sickness. And the sickness caused by fat and the effects of fat, effect of sick is to death, leads to death, and death is the effects of sick, right? This is cause and effects of normal people, easy example. And for cause and effects of Dhamma, as I mentioned before, this hungry is the effects. Having a meal is the effects. Fat is the effects. And sick is the effects or phala. And death is also an effect or phala. It's not cause in Dhamma. It's not, they are not classified as cause in Dhamma. As I mentioned here, that the things that happen, everything that happen in the level of the things that can be seen, tangible, and scientifically proven, in Dhamma, we classify them, all of them, as the effects or phala, not cause or hetu, any at all. Okay, so this is the first example. The different, now you see the different cause and effects of normal people. They have a cause and effects in every situation here, but in the cause and effects of Dhamma, all of them are the effects or phala. None of them is cause. Next. Okay, next, this one is another example. Like you have cold weather, the cause of cold weather, it might be in winter. The effects, you find clothes wear. Then you find the clothes wear caused by what? Caused by cold weather. And the effects of finding clothes to wear, you might feel sick due to cold weather because you don't have warm enough clothes. Then you're sick, you get cold, something like that. It's caused by cannot keep body warm, then you get sick. Then the effects of sick, if you cannot cure it on time and it continuously worsen, and then leads to death. And this death caused by sick is effects that caused by sick, right? Okay, and for the level of Dhamma is the effects or pala, effects. Every situation that happened here is the effects. Okay.
You mean that in our normal life, no any cause?
If we looking in the cause and effects of Dhamma, in our daily activities, none of them are the cause, but all of them are the effects. That is the difference from cause and effects of Putushana or normal people, because as we mentioned that for normal people in our daily lives, we can identify cause and effects by as I mentioned before, the beliefs of the society, of the scientific proven, of the technology, of the norm of that society, things that can be classified as cause and effects. But that depends on the knowledge of Putushana, but not the teaching of Gautama Buddha at all. That is different.
So if we did not Sikaya, we cannot find the cause of everything in the world.
Well, this is a good question, Piping. It depends on the definition of the cause. If that cause, definition of that cause is based on the beliefs of Putushana, or beliefs in ourselves, or the things that we have been taught in school since we were a kid, then we can find cause and effects, right?
Yeah.
But if we want to find cause and effects in Dhamma, we cannot use the knowledge that we learned from when we was a kid, or we cannot use our experience when we our experience to decide this one is cause and that one is effects. Because if we do so, it's decided by ourselves. And as I mentioned in the slides before, that whenever you decide by yourself, then is the act of Putushana, and the act of Putushana, no matter what to decide, you classify that is good or bad. Those things, those two, neither good or bad, nor anything else, will lead you to Abhaya Bhumi 4 only.
Again and again.
That's the only way to go. So I insist that that
we have to
people
Sikaya.
need to that's why us, we the one who's trying to Sikaya, we need to go into a bit more detail, whether whenever we decide that this one is good, that one is bad, please go back that what kind of standard or things that you are using to measure that one you classify as good, because of the teaching of Gautama Buddha, or the beliefs of the society, all the things that we think ourselves, we assume it by ourselves, or we guess it, that this one must be good and this one should be bad. For people, what is the reason behind that? Is that is that reason come up by normal people, or the norm of the society, or the proven of scientifically proven? Even those, if the reason behind your decision is nothing involved with Dhamma or the enlightenment of Gautama Buddha, that all of them leads to the bad one, Abhaya Bhumi 4.
So when Gautama Buddha did not become enlightenment, that time Gautama Buddha know the cause and effect or not?
Before the enlightenment, when Gautama Buddha was Bodhisattva, At that time, Bodhisattva knows only the effects or phala. At that time, Bodhisattva don't know the cause of things that happen in this in 31 Bhumi, or cannot escape from cyclic of existence. Only when Bodhisattva enlightenment and become Gautama Buddha, at that time, the time of once Bodhisattva becomes Gautama Buddha, that is when we know Gautama Buddha know the cause that lies in Abhidhamma, that can help Sattva in 31 Bhumi escape from cyclic of existence, and then that can improve ourselves, can improve Sattva from Abhaya Bhumi 4 into Manusa Bhumi 1, and Teva Bhumi 6, Brahma Bhumi 16, and Arupa Brahma Bhumi 4, and even go to Lokuttara, the end of cyclic of existence.
So back from this day to 2,612 years ago, Paramattha have enlightenment in Visakha Puja, no? So that day Paramattha can know the cause of everything.
Yes.
โอเคค่ะ สาธุ
This is another example. This one known by science. We know that evaporation caused by heat, and the effects of the heat is evaporation, and the cloud caused by condense of water, and effects is precipitation, and the rain caused by cloud, and effects too much rain is caused flood, and flood caused by cloud. Things like that. Too much rain, actually, too much rain. Okay, and cause and effects of Dhamma, all of those activities, those events, is the effects of phala. Okay.
So everything that we have studied from our class on for normal class, like nurse, accountant, engineer, all thing is only cause.
Yes, but not the effects.
Yeah.
No. Everything is effects. In Dhamma, everything is an effect, not a cause one.
Effect.
Okay.
I confused. Sorry.
That's okay. This I'm comparing tools that you have cause to identify cause and effects of Puthujjana or our daily lives. For example, we have a lot of theories about it. For example, such as Pareto chart, 80% and 20%. 80-20, you might know it. You need 20% efforts to cover things that you need to done 80%, something like that, 20-80. And we have also a theory about failure model effects analysis. This one usually in automotive industry, and 5 whys to find cause, and Ichikawa fishbone diagram, fault tree analysis, 8D report template checklist, DMAIC template or define measure analysis, improve control, and also scatter diagram that to find a relation between two sets of information. These are the theory that involving to find cause and effects of normal people. And for the tools that you can, they help you to find cause and effects in Dhamma. The only one that is cause in Dhamma is Abhidhamma 42,000 Dhammakantaka. Is the cause or hetu in Dhamma that explain every effects of phala that happen in our daily lives. Okay, we go a bit more detail. What cause and effects in Dhamma? We go a bit more detail in this one, because in those examples that we mentioned, we also mentioned that every event that seems to have cause and effects of normal people, it's only the effects in Dhamma. And so how Dhamma cause and effects explain those activities and those events. First of all, I need to mention that our education today it needs roughly only 30,000 years to develop. Accounted from the first invention of the alphabet of language, of people language. And for the shortened time need to enlightenment to gain the teaching of Gautama Buddha is 20 asankhaya and 100,000 kappa. One asankhaya is the mountain that 16 kilometers high that have a cross section of 16 kilometers times 16 kilometers, 16 kilometers wide and 16 kilometers depth. Every 100 years, Tevata comes and have a fine cloth, wipe gently on that mountain. The time that need to wipe all that stone mountain that have 16 kilometers high and cross section of wide of 16 kilometers and 16 kilometers depth until it flat to the ground. That is one asankhaya. So 30,000 years that need to develop our knowledge, they cannot be compared as even one asankhaya. And the fastest, the shortest time for enlightenment of Gautama Buddha is 20 asankhaya and 100,000 kappa. This for Panyatika type of Buddha. If that Buddha is classified as Sattvatika or Viryatika, they need a bit further time, a bit more time. For example, like Sattvatika need 40 asankhaya and 100,000 kappa, and Virya Buddha need 80 asankhaya and 100,000 kappa. So this comparing is the comparing with the shortest one of type of Buddha, which is Panyatika Buddha. To give you a bit more picture, the mountain that have 16 kilometers high. Even Mount Everest today, we have only the height is only around 8 kilometers. We need 2 of Mount Everest. However, you may see that the cross section is not 16 kilometers by 16 kilometers. It's small on the top and wide on the foundation on the base. But the mountain we have just mentioned is altogether is 16 kilometers times 16 kilometers and have 16 kilometers high. So it's a cube of 16 kilometers, a bit taller, much more taller than this one, and much more have the cross-section area than this one, not in this type of shape.
It's been very long time.
Yes, very long time. So what we are going to mention here when we explain about Dhamma, that's why it's quite difficult to understand it. We need time and quite profound or kampira. That's why we go slow, a little slow. Yeah. And for Dhamma Vinaya, at the time of the enlightenment of Gautama Buddha, the Dhamma Vinaya, 84,000 Dhammakanta, classified into 2 groups. The first one we call Vinaya, 21,000 Dhammakanta. And the second group we call Dhamma, 63,000 Dhammakantaka. And later on, after Parinibbana of Gautama Buddha, then Dhamma Vinaya divided into 3 Pitaka. As we know that now we have Pitaka. The first one is Vinaya Pariyati Pitaka, 21,000 Dhammakantaka. The second one is Suttanta or Sutta Pariyati Pitaka, 21,000 Dhammakantaka. And the last one, this is very important one, Abhidhamma Pariyati Pitaka, 42,000 Dhammakantaka. And this one, Abhidhamma, is the cause, and the rest, Vinaya and Suttanta, these 2 are the effects of Abhidhamma. Abhidhamma explain cause of everything, cause in 31 Bhumi. And to go a bit more in detail, in Abhidhamma, 42,000 Dhammakantaka divided into two groups. The first one is Paramattha Dhamma, and the second one is Panyati Dhamma. Panyati Dhamma classified as Attha Panyati and Sattha Panyati. And Paramattha Dhamma have Citta 121, Cetasika 52, Rupa 28, and Nibbana 1 as the component under Paramattha Dhamma. And for Citta 121, Cetasika 52, Rupa 28, and Nibbana 1, they have two main characteristics. The first one is Samanya Lakkhana 3, and the second one is Visesa Lakkhana 4. Samanya Lakkhana 3 consisting of Anicca Lakkhana, Rasa, Pachupatthana, and Pathatthana. Okay, you might not familiar with it, a bit confused and a lot of new words. I recommend that start to you may need to recite it, and at this time listen to it as the component. Try not to translate it at this time. I'm trying to point out that there are roughly this kind of structure, and in each component they have this in each group they have these kind of components in the group. Then you may recite it, things like this first. And then for, as I mentioned, that Samanya Lakkhana and Visesa Lakkhana is the characteristic that resides in Citta 121, Cetasika 52, Rupa 28, and Nibbana 1. So I show you roughly picture this for the in general. For Citta 121 classified into two groups. The one is Lokiya Citta 81. This is the Citta that cause you to stays in 31 Bhumi, and Lokuttara Citta 40 that leads to end the cyclic of existence and leads you to go out of 31 Bhumi. For Samanya Lakkhana and Visesa Lakkhana, as I mentioned, that Samanya Lakkhana for Lokiya Citta 81, they consisting of all of three Samanya Lakkhana. They have Anicca Lakkhana, Dukkha Lakkhana, and Anatta Lakkhana. And Visesa Lakkhana, they also have all of Visesa Lakkhana, all four of them: Lakkhana, Rasa, Pachupatthana, and Pathatthana. And for Lokuttara Citta, the one that the group that will lead you out of 31 Bhumi, for Samanya Lakkhana, Lokuttara Citta have only Anatta Lakkhana. They don't have Anicca Lakkhana and Dukkha Lakkhana. And for Visesa Lakkhana, Lokuttara Citta have only 3 out of 4, which is Lakkhana, Rasa, Pachupatthana. They don't have Pathatthana. This is the special characteristic of Lokuttara Citta 40 in general. And for Cetasika 52, they all have Samanya Lakkhana 3, Visesa Lakkhana 4, all of them. And Rupa 28, they have all Samanya Lakkhana 3 and Visesa Lakkhana 4. And for Nibbana 1, you may see that Nibbana 1 have the same characteristic as the Lokuttara Citta 40. They, for Samanya Lakkhana, Nibbana 1 has only Anatta Lakkhana. Nibbana doesn't have Anicca Lakkhana and Dukkha Lakkhana. And for Visesa Lakkhana, Nibbana 1 has only Lakkhana, Rasa, Pachupatthana, and Pathatthana. They don't have Nibbana 1 has only Lakkhana, Rasa, Pachupatthana. Nibbana doesn't have Pathatthana here. Or in
the same as Lokuttara Citta 40.
Same as Lokuttara Citta 40. Okay, and to go into more detail, as we mentioned, that to understand Paramattha Dhamma, to explain Abhidhamma, you need to know Citta, Cetasika, Rupa, and Nibbana 1, and they have special characteristics like this. And now we go back that you need to know about Citta 121. That's why we recommend you to recite Citta 121 at the beginning of every classes. And Cetasika 52, you might have already familiar with it, and Rupa 28. Okay, and for in a big picture, Citta whenever Chitta works with Chetasika that cause Rupa, that is the big picture. Chitta 121 work with Chetasika 52 that cause Rupa 28. In this one, I speak in general and big picture to have you easy and for the beginners to understand it easily. And by doing so, they are the foundation of components to explain everything, including cause and effects that happen in 31 Bhumi, not only Manusa Bhumi, and can leading to Makkaphala and Nibbana. Okay, and for the cause and effects of normal people that only exist in Manusa Bhumi, it doesn't have any idea with the Abhaya Bhumi 4, Deva Bhumi 6, Brahma Bhumi 16, and Arupa Brahma Bhumi 4. And Chitta, that cause, whenever we are trying to explain cause, as I mentioned in Dhamma, we focus on Abhidhamma. And once we focus on Abhidhamma have classified into Paramattha Dhamma and Panyati Dhamma. Under Paramattha Dhamma, we have Chitta 121, Cetasika 52, Rupa 28, and Nibbana 1. Under Chitta 21, the area that will cause the real cause, Chitta that involved with the cause stays only in Chavana Chitta. And Chavana Chitta is here. It's classified. Chitta that stays in Chavana Chitta classified into two main groups. The first one is Kama Chavana Chitta 29, and the second group is Appana Chavana Chitta 58. For Kam Chavana Chitta 29, consisting of Akusala Chitta 12 and Somana Hasitupatha Chitta 1 and Kama Vajra Mahakusala Chitta 8. And for Appanashva Chitta 58, consisting of Rupa Vajra Mahakusala Chitta 5, Rupa Vajra Mahachitta 4, and Lokutara Chitta
20.
Makha. Yes, Lokutara Chitta 8.
And Lokutara Lupa Mahakiriya
sorry. Yes.
Mahakiriya Chitta 5.
Yes, Rupa Vajra Mahachitta 5. This one. This is the correct.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And Arupa Vajra Chitta.
58 is this one. Rupa Vajra Mahakusala Chitta 5, Rupa Vajra Mahakriya Chitta 5, Rupa Vajra Mahakusala Chitta 4, Rupa Vajra Mahakriya Chitta 4, and Lokutara Chitta 40. Altogether 58. Okay. That is Chitta in Chavana Chitta. And only 29 of Chitta in Chavana Chitta that creates Kamma. That will bring you to your next life. It's caused by Kamma Chitta 29, consisting of Akusala Chitta 12, Kamma Vajra Mahakusala Chitta 8, Rupa Vajra Mahakusala Chitta 5, and Arupa Vajra Mahakusala Chitta 4. Altogether 29 that cause Kamma. And those Kamma, in each Kamma Chitta, consisting of Rupa Samutthana, for like this one seems like information that embedded that created by those Kamma Chitta 29. And for Rupa Samutthana classified into 4 main groups. The first one is Kamma Shrupa 18, the second one is Chitta Shrupa 15, and Uttu Shrupa 13, and Ahara Shrupa 12. These are the information that these are the group of Rupa that caused by Kamma Chitta 29. Before you're born in each Bhumi, they must provide this Rupa Samutthana. They must provide you Kamma Shrupa, Chitta Shrupa, Uttu Shrupa, Ahara Shrupa, all your body, your mind, your environment, and your food in every Bhumi before you go to born in that Bhumi. And once Kamma Chitta prepare Rupa Samutthana that consisting of Kamma Shrupa, Chitta Shrupa, Uttu Shrupa, Ahara Shrupa ready for you, then they send that Rupa Samutthana to, for example, like if that caused by akusala citta 12, then sent to ubekha sakatang santi rana cittang asankarikang kama vajra akusala vipaka cittang. And once if it caused by kama vajra mahavipaka citta 8, it depends on the how much kusala, how much intense of that kusala is. If it's the light one, it will send to ubekha sakatang santi rana cittang asankarikang kama vajra ahetuka kusala vipaka cittang. That leads you to Manusapumi 1 and the first level of Tevapumi 6. And if that kind of kusala is a bit more intense, it will send to Kama Vajra Mahavipaka Citta 8. And from Rupa Vajra Mahakusala Citta 5 will send to Rupa Vajra Mahavipaka Citta 5, and Rupa Vajra Mahacitta 4 sent to Rupa Vajra Mahacitta 4. You see that there is no Patisanti Pavanka Chutti 19 exists in Lokuttara, because Lokuttara leads you to nowhere, no Bhumi at all, because Lokuttara leads you to end of the cyclic of existence in 31 Bhumi. And each of Patisanti Pavanka Chutti Citta 19 sent you to 31 Bhumi. For example, like Ubekha Sakatang Santi Rana Cittang Asankarikang Kama Vajra Akusala Vipaka Cittang sent to Abhaya Bhumi 4. And Ubekha Sakatang Santi Rana Cittang Asankarikang Kama Vajra Ahetuka Kusala Vipaka Cittang sent you to Manusa Bhumi 1 and Teva Bhumi 1, the first level, which called Jatu Maharashika Bhumi, for example, like this. And the real danger is this one, the Ubekha Santi Rana Akusala Vipaka Citta, that sent you to Abhaya Bhumi 4. We need to try not to go this way. We can go to the rest, but except this one. Try not to go through. But
The last one.
If we don't Sikhaya, we definitely need to go to this one. The only one that activates is this one. Okay.
Very harmful one.
Yes, very harmful one. And as we mentioned that when before we born in each Bhumi, they provided Kama Shupa, Citta Shupa, Utu Shupa, Ahara Shupa, all your body, your mind, your environment, and your food. And sent this Rupa Samudratthana to Patisanti Pavanka Chutti Citta 19. This example we will show you to born as a human. Okay, to born in as a human or Manutsa. And that Rupa Samudratthana is here. Will create your body as a human, your mind as a human, your environment for a human, and your food or Ahara Shupa as a human. When they going to create things that they going to send you to born in that Bhumi, first of all, they must prepare everything, the environment and need for you. Whenever you come to that Bhumi, they need to provide your food and your environment first. So by preparing the environment for you, they must provide a universe, provide solar system, provide earth, provide also sun, and provide a city and provide a food for you before you come to born as a human. As you can see that here, there are lots of buildings. They must prepare the building ready for you before you born as a human, and also food. So all vegetables and food here must be prepared before you're born as a human. By prepare this environment for you, they create from Vinipokha Rupa 8, then send, and Vinipokha Rupa 8, the first 8 of every group, create environment for you. And then when you are going to born as a human, Vinipokha Rupa 8 as same as the building of your environment, but you will have special type of Rupa, which is called Chivita Rupa 1, attached with Vinipokha Rupa 8. This Chivita Rupa 1 will attach with Vinipokha Rupa 8 as long as you are alive as a human. Whenever Chivita Rupa leave Avinipokarupa 8, that's when you die. Okay, we call this 8 Avinipokarupa and 1 Jivitarupa, altogether 9. We call it Navarupa 9. And by having Jivitarupa 1 attached with Avinipokarupa 8, then they will have a connection that can send information from here into the work of Cetasika and then send to Chitta. That's why it's so special, that makes our body different from our desk, our computer, and our mobile phone, something like that. With those example, they are all the objects, they have all the Avinipokarupa 8, but we are living creatures. We have a Jivitarupa 1 attached with Avinipokarupa 8. That's why we are alive. And by having Jivitarupa 1 with it, it's also have Jivita Cetasika that can receive the information from the act of our body. And Jivita Cetasika is one of Sappajita Saharan Cetasika 7. Whenever you find one of Cetasika that stays in one of Cetasika that's in Sappajita Saharan Cetasika 7 group, they always work together. Whenever you find one, you can assume that the rest come with it. So at this point, you see Jivita Cetasika, but Jivita Cetasika is one of Sappajita Sattva Cetasika 7. So at this time, you can assume that there are also Phassa Cetasika, Vedana Cetasika, Sanya Cetasika, Cetana Cetasika, Ekakata Cetasika, and Manasikara Cetasika also work together with Jivita Cetasika that exist with Jivita Rupa, that attach with Avinipokarupa 8. And moreover, at this level, they expand itself from Navarupa 9 into quarks, as we know by the smallest particle by science today, and then we form into atom and two elements, two chemical compounds, and two DNA. And by we are Vipatisanti Asubekha Santirana Ahetuka Kusoniba. This will control this kind of DNA forming that's why our DNA, once we form from chemical compound to DNA and controlled by Patisanti Pawangka Chutti Chitta. That's why DNA will belongs to human, not be a DNA that belongs to the animal. Because if you born
cannot change,
yes, you cannot change, because if
if
you are going to born as an animal, you must patisanti with upekha santirana akusala vipaka citta. That is the one control your once you become a chemical compound, and when expand from chemical compound, that's why once it becomes DNA, it controlled by patisanti citta. So once you patisanti by ubekha santirana ahetuka kusala vipaka citta, that you must be human. That's why DNA belongs to human. Okay. Okay, the next one. No, not this one.
many data.
Yes, many data here. Oh no. As we mentioned before. Okay. Because by Kama Shupa, Chitta Shupa, Utu Shupa, Hara Shupa, that create ourselves, our body, our mind, our environment, and our food. Okay. And Kama Shupa, this one create from the past. And Chitta Shupa, Utu Shupa, and Hara Shupa also create from the past, but to be used in our present. The way we use our body depends on us now. It's not predetermined. It depends on us. How we use our mind, or Chitta Shupa, how we use our environment, or Utu Shupa, and how we use Ahara Shupa 12, that define our future. Okay. I'll go through this quickly because it's a bit complicated. Oh, okay, I'll go a bit more in details, and then I'll stop at the cause, and we'll explain about the effects in Dhamma later on in our next class. Okay, for Kama Shupa 18 that we said, it created from the past. Within it, there are 117 citta that sent with Kama Shupa. They reside in 6 components of Kamashrupa. Six components. The first 5 components is Pasatrupa. 5 Jaku Pasatrupa, Sota Pasatrupa, Kana Pasatrupa, Shuha Pasatrupa, and Kaya Pasatrupa. These 5 Pasatrupa exist of there are 3 Panchavinyan 10 exist in this 5 Pasatrupa, consisting of 2 of Jaku Vinyana Chitta, Sota Vinyana Chitta 2, Kana Vinyana Chitta 2, Shuha Vinyana Chitta 2, and Kaya Vinyana Chitta 2 stays with Pasatrupa. 5 Jaku Pasatrupa, Sota Pasatrupa, Kana Pasatrupa, Shuha Pasatrupa, and Kaya Pasatrupa. And another components another rupa that has chitta stays with it, which is Hataya Rupa. Hataya Rupa has chitta 107 stays with it. 107 chitta consisting of akusala chitta 12, ahetuka chitta 8, except Sri Panchavinyan 10, because Sri Panchavinyan 10 stays with Pasatrupa 5, and Kama Vajra Sopana Chitta 24, Rupa Vajra Chitta 15, and Arupa Vajra Chitta 8, except Arupa Vajra Mahavipaka Chitta 4. Arupa Vajra Mahavipaka Chitta 4, due to we are talking about Rupa here. Arupa is things that are not working with Rupa. So Arupa Vajra Mahavipaka Chitta 4 cannot stay with Rupa. That's why Arupa Vajra Maha Chitta 4 don't appear on this chart. And the last one is Lokuttara Chitta 40. This altogether is Chitta 107. And whenever we feel in our daily lives that caused by our Akusala Chitta 12, the feelings of resentment, regret, dissatisfaction, anger, hate, jealousy, spitefulness, hostility, revenge, etc. are all create from the past here. And Akusala Chitta 12 exists in the past and exists in the component in Rupa that called Hataya Rupa that exists in Kamashrupa 18, which caused from the past. And to whenever sent to before Rupa Samudratthana can expand into us, they must start with Kamashrupa 18 and Akamashrupa 10. This is the ideal form. Whenever they are going to activate, be ready to expand into ourselves, they must switch one of the components. The Kamashrupa 18 and Akamashrupa 10, they need to switch Parichetharupa 1 with Sattharupa 1. Once Sattharupa 1 switch from Akamashrupa 10 into Kamashrupa 18, they call Satthavisaya Rupa 1. And then the group name from Kamashrupa turns into Nibbanarupa 18. And Parichetharupa 1 switch from Kamashrupa 18 into Akamashrupa 10. Once it switched to Akamashrupa 10, the group name is changed into Nibbanarupa 10. So when these two rupa switch and Kamashrupa 18 and Kamashrupa 10 switch into Nibbanarupa 18 and Nibbanarupa 10, at this time it's ready to expand into ourselves. Okay, and it starts from here. Paramattha Suttanta tu Kasina tu Pakati. Lakhana, Samanya Lakhana Visesa Lakhana, as we mentioned in Abhidhamma, expand into Sampara, for example, like Patvi Mahaputa Rupa 1. Once it is a Lakhana, it's a Patvi Mahaputa Rupa 1. When it becomes a Sampara, it's Patvi Mahaputa Rupa. And then create one of Patvi Mahaputa Rupa become Patvi Mahaputa Rupa 20. And within Patvi Mahaputa Rupa 20 exists of Kesa consisting of Rupa 44. They gather Rupa 28 into themselves and form a new form of Rupa that this level we call Sasampara, and for Sasampara expand into Aramana and expand to Samadhi. The level that we are spending our lives today is Pakati and Samadhi level. It's for a very fast one. And this one, as I mentioned before, now they create into ourselves from Kamashrupa and Akamashrupa switch switch Sattha Rupa into Kammasharupa and Parisheta from Kammasharupa into a Kammasharupa becomes Nibbana 18 and Nibbana 10 and expand into ourselves. Within ourselves, there lies they consisting of two main components, Akusala Kamapata 10 and Kusala Kamapata 10. Akusala Kamapata 10 is this one help we perform our daily activities in Kamasanya, Kochara Sanya, Moran Sanya. But to perform Tamasanya, you need Kusala Kamapata 10. The only time that Kusala Kamapata 10 will come up and show themselves is only through Sikaya, to finding the teaching of Gautama Buddha. Now, back to our example. As we said that the effects, but we don't have at the first time we don't explain why is the effects. Now we explain more a bit of the effects, because we start from the happening of Gautama Buddha and cause and effects between in Dhamma, which divide into three Tipitaka divide into three groups. The first one is Suttanta, Vinaya, and Abhidhamma. Suttanta and Vinaya, these two are the effects, and Abhidhamma, this is the cause or hetu in Dhamma. That's why, and under Abhidhamma, they exist of Citta, Cetasika, Rupa, and Nibbana. That's why we explain the effects by cause that cause in Abhidhamma. That's why we said that hungry is the effects from Citta, Cetasika, and Kammasrupa. Having a meal, we decided having a meal, the effects of Citta, Cetasika, and Kammasrupa. You are fat because of it comes from the work of Citta, Cetasika, and Kammasrupa. We're sick because of Citta, Cetasika, and Kammasrupa. And we dead because of Citta, Cetasika, and Kammasrupa.
The same answer.
Yes, the same answer as also this one. The cold weather come from Citta, Cetasika, Kammasrupa. We are finding clothes to wear comes from Citta, Cetasika, and Kammasrupa. We sick because of the work of Citta, Cetasika, and Kammasrupa. We dead because of the work of Citta, Cetasika, and Kammasrupa. And even the situation that normally happen, the evaporation, cloud, rain, flood, and also they are the work of Citta, Cetasika, and Kammasrupa. Okay, so today we stop here, and next time we'll explain more a bit about if these are the effects of Citta, Cetasika, and Kammasrupa. What are they cause next? Okay, what are these activities or these events are the cause of? Okay, that I will leave. I will solve it here, and that question I will answer you in the next class. Have you see? Okay.
To know the answer for our next class.
Yes, yes. In our next time, in the next time we meet.
Yeah. So today we have many material and many data. Everyone can slowly review the class.
Yes.
Maybe it's a little bit no, it is hard.
It's a bit difficult.
Yeah.
It's fast because we try to squeeze all of a lot of information into very short time. But we think that the information that we're trying to squeeze in very short time, because we think that it cannot be divided. It cannot be shortened. It cannot be shortened more than this. If we shorten more than this one, it might mislead you to it will make you difficult to understand the cause and effects of Dhamma. However, we stop it here, and then
so the conclusion is that everything in our world is only effect. Yes. But if you want to know for the cause of everything, you have to Sikaya Paramattha Dhamma that is Abhidhamma.
Yes,
Mhm.
and that's what we are doing in every class. That's why we explain you about focus mainly on Abhidhamma, because Abhidhamma is the cause of every effects that happen in this life, and every effects that happen in 31 Bhumi. And Abhidhamma is also the cause for you to escape from the cyclic of existence in 31 Bhumi also.
Mhm.
And next time we explain you about what are these events and these incidents cause in the future.
Do anyone have any question or sleeping? Okay, wake up.
Sorry for a lot of information and squeeze them in a very short time.
Do anyone have any question?
In the next class, we'll ask the question. Now, time is so much.
Yeah. Okay. So, Satu for this
Satu.
class,
That will
no?
be the end of this
Okay.
class.
See you in
Satu,
next
Kak.
our next class. Satu, Satu, Satu.
Satu.
Nawuti Upaniti Panta
Panta,
Anumotami Ka. Satu to
Satu,
see
Kak.
everyone, no? Next class. Satu ค่ะกราบ